Howdy, howdy, boys. Got a game in the daring today. I'm gonna pop up my build. Ooh, Grotmaz. Spicy. You'll notice a few unusual picks in there. I'm not running Sims. I am running Blue, and I'm actually running, oh man, what is that skill called? Flank Speed, I think. I'll explain a little bit of that in a little bit, but just acknowledge that I am fully aware that that is another spicy build that is not necessarily traditional. Yeah. So anyway, we got this match in the Daring. This is one of my favorite ships in the game currently. It has been for the past year or so. It was my most played ship last year. Shima was my most sunk ship. You're welcome, Blue Team. But yeah, I just like the variety, the loadout, just the kit, the whole thing about this ship. And most importantly, it's just fun to play. It just feels nice. It feels fun. I enjoy the quick acceleration. I enjoy the relatively quick rudder. I enjoy the tight turning circle, the 360-degree turrets, the quick smokes, the sonar, the heals, like all of it together. Like it's just a lot of the things that I enjoy in a ship, regardless of kind of overall power level. It's just fun to play. But yeah, we're in a match on Shatter. This used to be a map that I really didn't enjoy, but as I've kind of gotten used to it, figured out how to play it, and different tiers, different ships, whatever, like I actually enjoy this map a lot now. It's got kind of a lot of ins and outs, a lot of places you can hide. Don't get stuck in the middle. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes I made. Still make sometimes. Yeah, don't get stuck in the middle. You can go in the middle, just don't get stuck there. Yeah, so here's this Kleber. I really want to shoot him here, but we have, at this point, an unspotted destroyer. There's nothing contesting B, and I'm just like, I've seen my target locator popping back and forth a handful of times as I'm in this cap. I don't know for sure if it's on that Henri up north. It might have been going back and forth between the Neptune, the Kleber, the Henri, like, it might be all those, but there might be another destroyer out here. And I'm just really nervous. 10-kilometer shots, Daring has floaty shells. That's a low probability hit on that Kleber at this range anyway. He's been bobbing and weaving and kind of dodging some shots anyway, so I'm just not convinced that that's a good use of my shots. People knowing where they are, like I'm not spotted at this point, so I just, even if I can just smoke up, I actually legitimately just don't want them to know where I am. Dev Strike on the Neptune. I mean, he's been there the whole match. Like, sure, I almost eat coincidental fire. And then I do open up on the Kleber, trying to get him over the leg of the island, because the Shima is spotted right there instead of over here where I thought he might be. I would love to just, like, go in on this duo. I'm a little nervous about taking two of them. I mentioned this before. Even if I sink one or both of them in this engagement, if they're both there, both firing at me, I'm going to take a ton of damage, and I don't really want to do that. I would like to take them on one at a time, so I can kind of isolate, destroy, limit how much damage I'm taking. I'm hoping this Henri keeps coming around this corner so I can torpedo him. Also, if the Shima kind of goes around the back of that island trying to get the cruiser that's off to my left, maybe he eats one of the torpedoes, so hoping for that. Kind of trying to feel out here. I believe it's a Musashi over the island, and then there's the Montana. I would really want to take some shots here, but again, like, I really want to limit how much damage I take, especially because I don't have Sims. So I'm in a low health Daring. Maybe now is a good time to talk about why I've gone with this build. So generally, broadly speaking, when I'm in a match, Gdansk notwithstanding, I find that I can generally take out most destroyers in the Daring. Most games I can pretty comfortably take out two, and the extra health from Sims doesn't actually impact that much. I've got the two heals that generally finish off the first destroyer, have some health taken off, whatever. I can heal up, I can take the second one. So yes, I'm probably missing about 5,000 health based on the extra health that I would get from Sims, and then it like bumps up the heal just a slight bit. The heals aren't amazing on the Daring, but as it stands, like, I probably have the same amount of health as a Kleber has stock if I get to use both my heals, and I find that I do most of the time. But what is the biggest weakness of the Daring? Speed. It is super slow. 36 knots is like, it's pushing the limit of really what I find kind of acceptable in a destroyer. Let me pause for a second. Here comes the Shima. I'm going to try to smoke up. He is heading towards me, so he is likely to get in my sonar anyway, but he's also spotted by the battleship off to my flank. So I can try to buy a little bit of speed, switch to the AP, and try it. I'm probably shooting a little high there. No, there's arm, so it's fine. Yeah, so he's going to go down pretty easily. And again, I took what, maybe 1,000 damage in that engagement because I wasn't also fighting the Kleber. Oh yeah, I get hit by one extra shell from the Henri. So I get to take out the Shima 100% because I engaged just him and not him and the Kleber. And I think that's super important to remember. Here, Kleber's in this cap, coming around the corner. My smoke isn't up. I wish my smoke was up for this part because I definitely don't want to engage a Kleber with his reload booster with his reload booster up and running. If you watch my Kleber video from, I don't know, a couple days ago, one day ago, yesterday, I don't know, this week's been nuts. The reload boost is not joking around on that thing. Like, the guns have super high HE alpha, accurate, good firing angles, good velocity. Yeah, if he's got his reload boost, the kind of only drawback they have realistically is they have a slightly longer reload. I think it's 6 seconds stock. So, like, Daring can 1v1 a Kleber for sure, but even if you win with him having reload boost up, you're going to lose a lot of health. You want to conserve that health, especially since I'm not running Sims. So what was I talking about? Daring, speed, yeah, got flank speed, Furioria. My Daring goes like 40 knots. That is great for a Daring. You know, obviously, I think it was, what was it? Phoenix 6-1, I think, was talking about this the other day about building ships. You can you have kind of two wings of your build, and you've got kind of a choice of where you fall in that spectrum. You can either build to mitigate the weaknesses of the ship, or you can build into the strengths. He was a proponent of, and I generally am as well, you want to build to the strengths of your ship. A lot of your skills are going to be percentage-based, like increase damage by this much %, or reload, reduce reload by this much %, increase speed by this much %. There are, and so broadly speaking, with those types of skills, you would like to be increasing something that's already high because the amount of increase you get will be higher. Like 10% speed increase on a Khabarovsk is way more than it is on a Daring. That said, you have these kind of categories where you have what I would consider a fatal flaw, like something that can make the ship not necessarily unplayable. Like stock Daring certainly is not unplayable, don't get me wrong on that, but just a severe weakness of the ship that can impact your ability to win games. Like, I've definitely had games on a Daring where I just can't get to the places in the map that I need to, and, you know, other destroyers are outrunning me and, like, you know, leapfrogging, capping in front of me, just getting to the other side of the map and winning a fight because they outnumber the rest of my team, just because they're so much faster than me. Kleber, Khabarovsk, even Shimakaze, stuff like that are just like hard to chase down in a Daring. I win that fight if I can chase them, but if I can't catch them, I never get to fight them at all. So I find the extra speed on the Daring so useful because I have the smokes, the sonar, and the heals. I miss the health, but it's not unworkable. Here, I'm pretty sure this Musashi is spotting me over the edge of the island. I was worried that it was the Kleber around the edge, but I kind of realized he wouldn't be shooting at me at this point, so it is the Musashi. I think his actually firing angle is going to hit the island significantly more than mine will. Obviously, my shells here are floatier than his, and now I even see that his turrets are pointed towards that GK. I think it's a friendly GK. Oh, okay. Took a shot there. Now I definitely need to be paying attention to what's coming around that flank. So anyway, got a fast Daring. Grotmaz is also an amazing commander because he increases the damage and fire chance of your shells, and I also have the, the increased, it's the legendary skill down to the bottom where it also increases the fire chance. Why do I have that? Tons of fire chance on the Daring. The biggest thing I see in legendary tier is we end up at the end of a match and there's like, 600,000 health of battleships or whatever left. I love the fire chance to just burn that down through the course of the match. And here we go. Here's the Kleber. This is it. This is the engagement. This is going to determine it. Does he have reload boost up? Do I get a bunch of torpedoes? So, got the AP in. With Grotmaz, if you don't have the legendary skill, the HE actually ends up being right at the same damage as the AP. Take one last shot. I wish... Oh, man, that hurt. This all would have been actually a lot easier. But that one hurt too. But that one salvo, like... That's why I don't want to mess with the Kleber if I don't have to. Even if I win, take that damage. Gotta keep that health up. Alright. Keep trying to talk about my build. Yeah, fire chance on battleships. I just end up in so many matches where, cool, I sank the destroyers, and I've just got 1 million health of battleships left because kind of no one else shot them, they didn't get shot, like they've been hiding at the back of the match, whatever it is. Like in this match, you see we've got 2 relatively healthy battleships. The Musashi's burning. Is that mine or somebody else? I think that might even be my fire on him. And then that GK comes in from the other flank, and he's very healthy too. So just being able to get these fires that much more consistently, I find really helpful. Then Kava, speak about speed. Here's one of the problem children, this guy. If he is running around the map, doing his things, you just can't catch him. And sure, you can play the caps and do what you want there, but I've been in too many matches where I just can't get to where we need to go. Switch to the AP, because he's got that big old armor plate on his side. I'm hoping to just kind of dodge and juke and just like, oh, get him. All right, cool. Smoked up, was going to go for blind fire, but he goes down anyway. I'm burning down, but thankfully destroyers don't take that much damage just because they don't have that much health, and the fires are relatively short. So now, this is cracking. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of thinking, but like our battleship right there, the friendly, I believe that's a friendly Berserker first, he's super low. He's getting pelted from maximum range by a Wooster. This GK was right at half health. This is not looking good. They've got 2 caps, we're even on points, but it's going to take me a minute to get over there. To B, I can't contest B realistically while the GK is in there. I have no idea if he has his sonar still up. I would hope that he had used it. He gets 2 charges. They only last for a minute. They are 6 kilometers. I would hope he has used at least one of them at this point, but odds are pretty decent that he's still got at least one of them, just because it takes a while to refresh and he hasn't been in combat for a while. But he may also be sonaring our friendly GK right here, so in any case, I don't want to go in. I do have low enough health that, like at this point, even his secondaries, 2 or 3 shells HE from his main guns are going to take me out, even AP. So yeah, I'm pretty low on health. This is an instance where, maybe Sims would be better, but also I'm not sure that I would have gotten in and out of some of the other scenarios that I did if I didn't have that extra speed. You can see right here, like, that extra about 10% speed, I'm going almost 40 knots, and with the Daring's handling in general, like, you actually get to go 40 knots a lot. Some ships bleed a lot of speed on turns. The British destroyers and cruisers actually tend to keep a lot of speed in the turns compared to some other ships, which is part of the reason that I find the Daring so enjoyable. So I'm able to kind of keep a lot of that speed going, trying to get around this corner, and it's like we had 2.5 minutes left. They're taking up points. Speed matters. The speed matters. Just again and again, I get in these situations where I really enjoy that extra speed. Mishima takes down the GK, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, thank you. This is not going to be another, Kraken loss. Like, I think one of my very first, my very first video was a Daring video. No commentary yet, but I'm just like, oh, what do? I feel like sometimes, even though as much as I like this ship, this does feel like a cursed ship sometimes. I had a little bit of lag right there. I was like, no, are you seriously? But yeah, I have tons of games like this in the Daring where it really feels like I'm doing everything I can to win, and it's just the game just doesn't quite go my way, which is again one of the reasons I have the speed. It's like I constantly find myself in these scenarios where I've kind of quote-unquote done my job. Like, I've sank the destroyer on my flank, did 100,000 damage to the battleship and cruiser, like we capped our flank, hooray, but I didn't have the ability to impact the rest of the match. And as you kind of want to try to creep up those wins, get that win percentage up, like, you have to win more than just your flank. That's just the reality of the game. I've told people, if I go into a standard match, I assume I need to sink 3 ships to win. Arcade, it's 4. Like, you just have to pull these, kind of higher level plays. And again, like, just to be extremely clear, I am not the best player. I'm bad with torpedoes. I miss shots. I'm going to make bad plays. Sometimes I make brain dead plays. I actually meant to start this video with this statement. I had a 900 XP game in the Jean Bart first thing this morning. First game I played. Like, everybody has bad games. And I think sometimes when you see these, like, kind of cherry-picked games, I'm not going to show you that game. First of all, yes, because it's embarrassing, but also, like, it doesn't teach anything. It's just like, yep, this game sucked. I was top on the team. I was the only ship to sink something, but I did it. There's nothing to learn from that video. It was just like, yep, bad team, bad plays by me. Like, there was just nothing to do. So here, I knew he had, like, watching the target locator, again, where I find that useful. I know he's coming this way. I launch torpedoes to try to get here in time, and I'm just like, I hope these hit. We don't have the points to win if we don't sink him. I flip the cap, but there's not enough time left on points, and I'm just like begging, and he goes down. I finally hit some torpedoes. Thank goodness. So that was an amazing match in the Daring. I love this ship. As I said, it doesn't happen every match. Yeah. 6-pack. Still less than the Harbin game that I had the other day. This was definitely a better match on my part, but GG.